Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. On today's episode of Design Darlings, I'm going to have Levity over. As you guys know, we're working together to style my room. We actually decided on the office. So on today's episode, we're going to discuss our design concept, how we got to the point of picking out the pieces that's going to be the headquarters of Musings of a Curvy Lady. So I'm so excited to show you how we got to through the design process and what the next steps are in the process of making my office into everything that I've ever wanted. So if you're interested in finding out how we got everything done, please keep watching. Hey, come on in.
You ready to go design concept?
I am. I'm so excited. So we can just step inside here and get more inspiration. Let's go.
So your office is the room that we chose.
It is.
And I think it's just going to be amazing. Like I had said before, your whole home is going to be a space of peace and your haven, but your office is where you're going to grow.
Yeah.
So I think the design that we came up with accomplished that.
Yes.
So do you want to go ahead and get into it?
Yes, I just wanted to share with everyone watching that this is definitely a collaboration. It's a lot of communication between you and your designer. And yeah, I think the process is really just going to show people that it's okay not to get it right the first time around.
Yeah.
And that's why we have these meetings and we talk and everything. So.
Yeah, revisions are absolutely part of it. It's so important to be open and honest with your designer because there's no way other than doing that you're going to get a room and a space that you fully love and that feels totally like you.
Yeah.
So tomorrow you were great at that, and we can kind of talk about that when we go through the first design board we came up with and then the final.
So you came up with an original concept based off of my feelings and what I described.
We did a design questionnaire that I sent over and it kind of reiterated some of the things that we discussed in person, but it's always good to have it in writing. So if there's any miscommunication or you want to refer back to something because maybe you don't remember, the design questionnaire is great to have. So that's something that I do with every client, and that's how we started with you.
Exactly.
And we talked about budget. Budget is really important to establish, and don't ever feel bad if you have a small budget or if you have a really big budget. Your budget is yours, and if you're working with someone, they should be able to accomplish what you want regardless of budget. You might not
really
get all,
good to know.
might not get all the items that you have your heart set on, but you can work to do DIYs, you can thrift shop, you can do secondhand sourcing. There's all different ways to get a space that you still love regardless of budget.
And I do want to try to stick to my budget, but I am open to going over a little bit. Just because I was hoping that some things were on sale, but in order to get what I want, sometimes you have to get things right then before they sell out or things like that. So I'm open. I have a budget of $3,000 for this room, but I am open to $3,500 to $4,000. And that is going to be a splurge for me because this is my space. I'm not someone that drops thousands of dollars on furniture ever. I mean, I've been living with my family for 10 years, so I didn't ever really have to think about that. It was my
you've
mom's.
been saving up for 10
Right. This is my budget for this office, and I'm going to try to stick to that as much as possible. Okay, so you sent over the first email with your notes, and you gave me a shopping list.
Yeah, we talked about the shopping list and what I do if there's anything that is supposed to be purchased in multiples, I will note that. Originally we had some marble and brass shelves, so I put 4 24-inch marble and brass shelves, gave the price for each, I listed where they're from, so it's very easy for tomorrow to know. In case the link didn't work or something, you can kind of Google. And then I include the link, and we talked about DIY projects, and we talked about leftover budget because we did at that point have a little bit leftover budget. So, to install a new light, wiring for that, the electrician, you need that, the DIY projects, any little trinkets in the room that can be leftover, and also you can save your leftover budget.
Yes.
You don't always have to spend it all. That's always a good thing.
Exactly. So basically what you came up with, I think we're going to go ahead and show the first concept board that you came up with. So this was the initial concept that you sent, and initially I was like, she got the shade of pink right. Like the curtains, I feel are going to be the major center of pinkness in the room, and
there's a depth to the pink.
I absolutely love these. So we got these velvet. They just look so luxe, and I love it. With a brass
curtain rod, and that's the actual curtain rod too that we'll be using.
So that would be over to our left over here on that window. And initially you had a big wall art canvas with a brass LED light, which I thought that was really cool. I was like, well, this makes it feel like more gallery-like. And so then you also had some marble bookshelves that were to be installed in the wall. Some clear bookshelves with a little bit of pink, like pink acrylic.
Right, and those were one of the things that you had said, nope.
Yep.
That's gonna be a no.
That was definitely something that, like, I like the concept of floating shelves, but I just didn't, I always had my eye set on like bookshelves. Like, I wasn't feeling the marble floating shelves or the pink acrylic bookends.
And you were great at communicating that to me too. So when I sent over the initial design concept board and the shopping list, Tamar provided feedback to me, and it was very specific, and if you didn't like something, almost always there was reason behind it, and I think there was one or two things that I wanted a little bit more explanation on, so I could know the next time I pick something for you, I'm getting it right.
That helps you out
Yes,
so much.
and
why you don't like something.
Yes, not just I don't like it.
Right.
So that's another thing. When you're telling your designer or working with a designer, no, be as specific as possible. You're not going to hurt their feelings.
Although I love the whole concept of shelving and wall art, this just wasn't the look I was going for. Then this is my desk. This is something that I already have already.
Yes,
that worked really, really well with everything else. You had this beautiful, beautiful velvet chair with brass hardware.
Which is perfect.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
And that was the item that, well, one of the items that you felt was a little bit too high. But so that was something we discussed was, do we keep that chair, and then you came to a conclusion on your own about it.
And the leopard. And you asked me in my questionnaire, is there any hard no's? Like, is there absolutely no? And I was just like, well, nothing tacky. But that was very generic, and that was very vague.
Right.
But
leopard is a hard no for you.
It's
so
a hard
something.
no. And then this is guest seating, and it was too modern for me, like way too modern. Even though it has the elements of the pink and the brass, the shape of the seats were just not what I was like envisioning.
So I think that style, that's something I'm very drawn to. And like I told you, when I saw it, I was like, these are the ones, which is so funny. But that shows you, you want to have as much communication as possible. Okay, I would encourage people to be as specific as possible. But business and cozy, and based on what we've done in the rest of your room, I was able to read that. So
Totally. You're spot on with everything that we had to do with revisions. So this is like my baby. This mirror I wanted forever, and it was just like one of those like splurge pieces that I was like, I don't have a space for this, living with my family. So I was just like, this is gonna be in my office. I have always wanted it, and it was 30% off at Anthropologie, and I copped it, and it's just ready.
It's ready to be the star. I do get a bit of a like vintage Parisian feel, and I know Paris is huge and amusing, so I think that's another part that we've been able to draw into this.
Definitely, and that brings us to a wall gallery. I want to feature photos that I took in Paris that I never actually shared on my
which I was like, why did you know?
I
know. They're amazing.
It was just like one of those things that so many other posts that required deadlines that I had to meet got ahead of me, and so I never got, this was a personal thing for me, so I never got to share the story of that creative day, but I'm definitely planning on doing that. But I wanted to incorporate those photos because they're absolutely gorgeous.
And what a perfect space to do it too, and here, because it's so close to your heart.
So this is what I'm really excited about too, taking just the plain closet and turning it into an experience still. So we you thought of painting the inside of the closet this really beautiful pink color and installing a chandelier.
Yes.
I have actually seen this chandelier everywhere, and I've pinned it multiple times.
Have
so
you?
when you
Oh,
sent that, I was just like, yes.
I'm getting it.
Yes. I love it. I love it. And then you were thinking also like incorporating something that like quotes or something, and I immediately said, "Stay lovely." That's something that I always say. I close out my videos and my posts with that because it's something that I want people to be left with, like regardless of like what you just saw or read, you can take bits and pieces of that and create loveliness in your own world. And like it doesn't have to be exact, it could just be how you interpret it. So having that kind of like
as a DIY paint it on there, yep, and use that font. And you can use a projector for that kind of stuff. I don't know where we would find a projector, so I said, well, I can just paint it on the wall.
And then we're also doing another option for DIY is to create a completely different look of these doors. And I love these half moon gold brass handles.
They are gorgeous. They are they're vintage, but they're modern and they're luxurious, and they're so simple.
Yes.
But they are such a statement.
Exactly.
They're absolutely beautiful and perfect for this space.
So initially, that's the whole first concept.
Oh, and we've got the fan.
Oh, the fan! I forgot the fan.
Well,
we
we
need a
forget
fan.
the fan, but
we need it.
Yes, and so that was one of the things we discussed, and that ties back to function. So we sourced this light from Home Depot. It's $119, super affordable. Clayton and I have them in our homes. We have them in black. It's remote controlled, it's LED, it's dimmable, we love them, and it's just modern.
Yes.
And with all the white, it'll blend in, but it's going to give you some additional comfort in here for all the work you're going to do.
So that's the first concept. This is my flooring that will be installed also. Initially I'm like, okay, you hit most of the things the elements that I wanted, the brass, the luxe, that Parisian feel. But so I gave you all the notes, and that was actually like a really good way to like kind of just go beyond the initial question here.
Yes.
This is like reality, like this is what she's really feeling. This is the final concept. It is gorgeous, Levity. I love everything about this, and it incorporates like the new edits. It's such, I just feel like it goes. It just like this is complete and it's full, and I love it so much.
This was the revision that we did. I would expect myself to have it right by then, maybe a few final tweaks, but I would want my client to have the feeling that you have after that first initial revision.
And I definitely do. So what I thought was really cool is that once I saw the things that I would like hard no on, I started sourcing, like looking for things like myself. And so the main thing was this wall art. It was like I was surfing Wayfair online, just like going through, just not inspired. And then that thing came up, and I literally gasped. We talked about I didn't like the floating shelves. I always pictured my space with bookshelves. And you had mentioned about doing a hack.
Yes, an IKEA DIY hack.
Right. And although it's beautiful, it just wasn't like luxe and heavy enough for me. And we're gonna need 2 of them, so the symmetry is maintained. But I love these ones I found on Wayfair, and it just incorporates the marble, but like a little bit of like you were saying, like something substantial and like heavy.
And it has, I think, a bit more personality too, with the curved gold parts underneath the marble.
And I love that the marble is exposed. It's not like inset. Coming down to my space where I'll be working, we have my desk there. We have the chair that I ended up going with because even though it was a little high for what I wanted to spend on just one singular item, this is where I'm going to be working a lot. I'm going to be sitting here a lot. I want something that's going to make me feel good.
Empowered. Where all your dreams are going to happen.
I love that. And then this is the original rug.
That's the original rug.
That I mistakenly thought was like way darker, and I was like,
no.
But this one is absolutely perfect. It's light enough to bring warmth, but it also has that subtle pink cloudscape that is just so
It's like a watercolor on your floor.
Absolutely.
So it's literally art on your floor.
So this was the revision, and when I saw that, I'm like, yes, immediately. It's cozy to me, but it's still structured and chic and glam.
And the base is so interesting too. And so we have lots of hard lines in here, you know, angles. And these just help soften, that space. And then they have a soft rug, and you have the curves of the chair. So everything, as far as chair selection goes and rug, it's all soft, yet still structured. And the blue and pink, it doesn't feel boy girly to me. It just feels kind of like a sweet nod to vintage, and just elevated design. You know, it's very intentional, and it just provides a beautiful pop.
Yeah, it breaks up all the pink and the best way possible. What else? Oh, I wanted to have some additional lighting, another light source, since we're not gonna have like a chandelier or some type of fixture. We're gonna do the ceiling fan, but this light that you sourced is gorgeous. I wanted to bring some greenery definitely into this space, but I'm not a great plant mom.
Neither am I. I can kill a succulent.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I want to have like so much real plants in this space, because I'm honestly probably not going to take good care of it. As much as I love that look and everything, I'm like, I don't want things dying in here. It's
we don't want any
inspiration.
We don't want to walk in the fiddle.
I know. Yeah, exactly.
And also too, you have to think about, if you want real or faux plants, what are your light sources, and also be honest about whether you're a good plant mom or dad. Neither of us are, so we're very upfront about that. But Tamara was really adamant about, you know, if I have a faux, I want it to look like a good faux. And the great thing is that now there are so many good faux plants. This one's from World Market, and it had some customer reviews and the photos, and I went through and looked, and would I purchase this for myself? And absolutely I would. Cool. So I felt very comfortable and confident putting that on your board.
All right, and then we have some photos for the gallery, and you're thinking like
I was thinking 2 large and then 2 large on the top and 2 large on the bottom, but I think that's something we'll continue to refine. And one other thing, so we sourced this basket for the fiddle leaf fig.
Oh, really?
And it's a little boho, a little glam. It's not overly glam though. So it's macrame and seagrass.
That's Natalie's jam. Oh my gosh.
But I thought that was, it kind of tied in with the other baskets that you sent me, but I didn't I wanted to give you something different versus like have you pick it out. You know, because that kind of takes away the surprise.
Yes, I love it.
You can do things that are not super expensive that really will up the factor. I mean, this just ties in so well with everything else. We also decided to take the Stay Lovely out of there as a DIY. I think you just felt it was a little too in your face. Yeah. Was that right?
Yeah, it was just, I think, I didn't want it to be gimmicky, and that is something that I want to incorporate in other elements later on this year, hopefully with merchandise. Like, that's something that I've always wanted to incorporate that in. So I want to leave everything, like, as far as like wording, I don't want that on the wall. I just want it to be Stay Lovely without having to say
the
anything.
Essence of the space. Which do you feel like the essence of this space is Stay Lovely?
Absolutely. I just love this. I'm so excited. I did not really know what to expect, because this is like I've never done anything. This is my first home, first time bringing someone on board.
Which I'm so grateful for. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you for coming on and like sharing your talent with me, because although I like style and home decor and all that stuff, like just because of my schedule, like I can't really enjoy searching. It's a chore.
Yeah. So let me do the chore.
Yeah.
Which I love.
And that's exactly, you love it, and I've learned to like outsource things so I can keep my joy, continue creating, and outsource things that I don't like to do. So yeah, I thought initially like, okay, like how is this gonna work with like how I see and getting it translated.
Because that's a scary thing to kind of give someone control over something you have to purchase, you have to live with. Are they gonna understand me?
Right.
This person I met on Instagram.
I know, and I'm just like, why weren't we friends before?
True.
No, it's everything about this process has been seamless. It just works. So I'm just excited to like be able to like do this more, and to the point where I'm like, I think we're gonna love this so much. We're gonna like want to do every room, the whole house.
We're gonna do the whole house. Then we're gonna have to buy another house.
I know. Flip that one, and then we get a show.
HGTV, call us.
Exactly. So yeah, this was definitely something completely. I went in like not knowing anything, but I'm having the best time. So I'm like, I feel bad for anyone who doesn't have this experience. I feel bad if like this is like over like this is like making your expectations really high. I'm just like really blessed to like have this awesome experience, and everything's been great.
Exact same with me. I mean, this is not something that I do full time, and but it's my dream to do this and to be able to flip homes full time. So you've given me a part of my dream, and I get to give you a part of yours.
Stop it. Ever since
it's really true.
We cried too much. We're both sassy. I've gotten more snappier in my older age.
Tomorrow you've been the perfect client, and I cannot wait to do our DIYs.
Yes.
I can't wait to have an install day and maybe help at the beginning. But I think we're gonna send you away and have you come back at the end.
Oh my god!
And do a reveal. I think that would be
That's
amazing.
gonna be insane.
Because then you'll see the room as
oh my
is,
gosh!
and then you'll walk in.
I'm having a moment.
And you'll see
It's
this.
gonna be just like HGTV.
It will be. I know.
Oh my gosh! I'm so excited for that.
But yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
for
I
it.
think
And it's gonna be amazing.
it's beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Alright guys, so thank you so much for watching this design concept meeting. Like right now, it's literally a blank slate.
It is.
But this is going to be a beautiful way to like look at the transition of like the before and after. So I'm so excited for this process with Levity. And if you want to reach her, I'm going to leave all her information down in the description box below. You can follow her on Instagram, and you can check her website out also. She's actually renovating your second home with your fiance.
Second DIY renovation.
Yeah.
And we absolutely love it. So you'll have to come over
Oh,
sometime
I would
and
love
check
to.
it out.
I'd love to. So definitely make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications with that bell. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, please stay lovely.
Hey darlings, thank you so much for watching. Can't wait for the next Curvy Lady upload? Stay connected and keep watching. Like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for Musings of a Curvy Lady so you never miss an upload. I'll see you in my next video. Until then, stay lovely.